So when I was 14, the Armed Forces came into our school and they showed us a video of the Navy, the Air Force and the Army. And for some reason, when they showed me the Army video, they showed the soldiers screaming and shouting at all the other soldiers going underneath the scramble net, over the 6-foot wall and swinging off the ropes. I was like, oh my God, that's me. I wanted to be the one screaming and shouting, but also the one getting down dirty. And I tried to get in for the next 3 years, but you couldn't be in until you were 17 and 9 months. I eventually joined and actually left my career having got an MBE for services to the military, so I'm very proud of it. Going into the army, I didn't really think about my sexuality as such, and it was only when I was in basic training that I met a girl who kissed me. I thought, oh, all right. And at that time, there was also called a witch hunt, so it happened in the 80s, happened in the 90s, where the Royal Military Police, or the SIB, they'd call it, would come into a unit and they would basically try and find people that they thought or got a tip off that were maybe in same-sex relationships. So I got raided, so they came into our barrack. It's like if you go home now, burglars are in your house, they're staying in your house, they're ripping through every single part of your belongings, literally tipping it up, bedrooms, wardrobes out, leaving it ransacked and then vilifying you in your face, and you can't do anything about it because of course you're petrified, you don't know really what's going to happen. That happened to me when I was 22. And I suppose what that did was instilled fear into my life as a young person who loved their career. You know, you couldn't do anything that exposed you at all in any sense. You were fearful of people just outing you just to get revenge or just because they could or wanted to. And that led to longer in my life carrying on with that fear. I left the army when I was 27 to pursue my second dream, which I had since I was 14, of being an Olympic champion. I'd won multiple medals for the army, the inter-services, and now actually world-class medals because I used to use my leave to go away and compete. When I was an elite athlete, no one else cared about anything else. It was all about performance. I didn't have to talk about my life. I didn't have to really expose my life. I could just be the elite athlete and be an Olympic champion. Of course, I'm now celebrated as the first woman to win 2 gold medals at the same Olympic Games. It became the narrative around me and one I could use. You know, I was using sort of the athletics as a mask for my happiness. I was scared of the consequences of being found out. And so it just sort of spiraled into this whole mental health issue, and I had a breakdown, became a self-harmer, didn't want to be here, and that was when I was 33 years old, and no one knew because I'm an elite sports person getting ready for a major championships. And at that time, early 2000s, we didn't talk about mental health awareness. So I founded my trust, the Dame Kelly Holmes Trust, in 2008. The principle was to transition sports people into new careers and help them find their purpose again, and also to help young disadvantaged children believe they could become someone. I lived in fear for 32 years, and the moment that I did a documentary where I said I was gay, lifted that whole fear away from my life. I'm determined to live my life happy, to live every day my authentic self, and to never ever go back in that box. I'm just going to bring out the colour and never live in fear again.